that was the tip, and then I realised there was a hopping cup. Oh, here we go. 12 o'clock, this is a spiel.
The time is now 12 o'clock noon on Friday, the 3rd of October 2025.
What's that?
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
The captain with my regular update on our navigational progress and the current and forecast weather conditions on this first day at sea out of 3 on our voyage towards Darwin. Noon today finds us in latitude 12 degrees 45 minutes south, longitude 143 degrees 33 minutes east. We're currently sailing a northwesterly course, some 9 miles off the east coast of the York Peninsula here in northern Queensland. We're roughly level in latitude with the cities of Ndola in Zambia, Salvador in Brazil, Ayacucho in Peru, and Matutu in the French Wallis and Fortuna Islands in the Pacific Ocean. A little closer to us, we're just 5 miles or so north of the coastal mining town and port of Weipa on the western shore of the York Peninsula here in northern Queensland. Well, our closest land of any significance amongst the many reefs we're passing is Cape Direction, and that's on the eastern shore of the York Peninsula, just 9 miles or so distant on our port quarter. The Cape was likely named by James Cook in 1770 for its navigational prominence. On our starboard side, outside the barrier reef, our closest land is Hood Point, on the western shore of Papua New Guinea, 290 nautical miles away. Well, having made good speed overnight, Crown Princess re-entered reef waters at 10:30 this morning, and I did a broadcast quickly to the open decks at that time, so some of you may have heard this already. But we re-entered the barrier reef via a navigable break named the Second 3-Mile Passage, and despite its name, on modern charts, the navigational channel is only, in fact, 1.5 miles wide, although at the time of its naming, without modern technology, it may have seemed much wider. Just before 11:30, we passed between Robin Reef to starboard and Chapman Island to port, both at around 2 miles distant from us. And now, shortly before 1 o'clock, we'll be abeam at Cape Weymouth, so named by James Cook in 1770, in honour of Thomas Tim, first Marquis of Bath, Viscount Weymouth, who was a British Secretary of State at that time. Also on our port side, just over a mile and level with a mile offshore and level with Cape Weymouth, lies Restoration Island. That island was named by Captain William Bligh of HMS Bounty, who made landfall there in 1789, following his epic voyage in an open boat from Tonga after the famous mutiny in his ship. The name he chose for the island has several explanations. The first, by reason of the fact that he and his crew were restored by the generous stew of oysters and palm tops after their hazardous voyage. And the second, which had nothing to do with restoring either themselves or their boat, but was in celebration of the restoration of King Charles II to the throne of the United Kingdom. Personally, I like the former. I can't imagine after such a hazardous journey the restoration of the monarchy will be at the forefront of your mind. And 12 miles away to starboard lies Bligh Reef, and an entrance through there, which is where Bligh came through, in and both out on his voyage to Indonesia. They didn't stay long on Restoration Island before they sailed once again to Indonesia. The wreck of the ship sent by the British Admiralty to capture the surviving Bounty mutineers, the HMS Pandora, lies only some 75 nautical miles or 140 kilometres due east of Restoration Island, where she foundered on the edge of the Coral Sea in August 1791. Well, 12:30 will see us pass between Piper Reef to port and the Inset Reef to starboard as we continue our passage north. 1600 will see us east of Clark Island and 4 nautical miles east of Cape Grenville, that cape named by Cook on the 19th of August 1770, in honour of George Grenville, a British statesman and former Prime Minister of that era. Well, tonight, sadly in the dark, and at around 11 p.m. 2300, we'll round Cape York at the very tip of the York Peninsula and begin our passage west across the very top of Australia. Cape York in northern Queensland is the northernmost point of the mainland of Australia. The cape was named by James Cook in August 1770 on his first voyage of exploration, in honour of Prince Edward, Duke of York and Albany, the brother of Great Britain's King George III. Our passage west in the Torres Strait, running between Papua New Guinea to the north and Cape York, will begin as we pass through the Adolphus Channel, followed by the Prince of Wales Channel, and then finally Gannet Passage, as we pass Booby Island and clear to the west of the York Peninsula. In the Torres Straits Islands archipelago, we'll sail variously north of Horn Island, named by Matthew Flinders in 1802, traditionally home to the Cowroreg peoples and now home to the Horn Island Airport. Wednesday Island, Hammond Island and Prince of Wales Island will all pass as we round Cape York westbound. Wednesday Island was named by Captain William Bligh in 1789 because he found it on a Wednesday. Hammond Island was named by Captain Edward Edwards of HMS Pandora in August 1791 as he travelled through the Torres Strait with the captured bounty mutineers. And Prince of Wales Island was named by James Cook in 1717 after George Augustus Frederick of Hanover, the then Prince of Wales, who later became King George IV. The Torres Strait itself is named after the Spanish navigator Luis Vaz de Torres, who was the first European documented to have sailed through it in 1606. The traditional custodians of the land are the Torres Strait Islander peoples. The strait is notorious for its numerous navigational hazards and frequently strong currents, our transit time being largely dictated by the strength and direction of these currents. We have our Torres Strait pilot, who is also our Barrier Reef pilot, Captain Richard Jameson, with us to support the bridge team in these frequently treacherous waters. Our passage through the Torres Strait will see us leaving the Coral Sea and entering the Arafura Sea, and dawn tomorrow will see us sailing across the Gulf of Carpentaria. Since our departure from Cairns yesterday, we've so far sailed 319 nautical miles at an average speed of 18 knots, which is 21 miles per hour, or 32 kilometres per hour. We still have a further 921 nautical miles to sail to reach Darwin on Monday. The current depth of water is 23 metres, 75 feet, 13 fathoms, and the seawater temperature 25 degrees Celsius, 77 degrees Fahrenheit. The current weather, partly cloudy and fine, southerly fresh breeze around 20 knots, raising a generally slight sea, and we have a low swell. The air temperature high is 26 degrees Celsius, 79 degrees Fahrenheit. And tomorrow's weather at sea, we're expecting a partly cloudy and fine day with cloudy increasing in the afternoon. An easterly breeze at moderately 15 to 20 knots, both at force 3 to 4, raising a slight sea, and we expect once again a low swell. The air temperature high tomorrow 28 degrees Celsius, 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Sunset tonight 23 minutes past 6, sunrise tomorrow morning 05:47. And at 0200 tomorrow morning, ship's clocks will be retarded by 30 minutes to reach UTC plus 9.5. Before going to bed this evening or first thing tomorrow, please remember to wind your clocks and watches back by half an hour. If you have an electronic device, you'll be able to select Darwin for your time zone. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that whatever your plans, you're enjoying a relaxing time with us. As always, I look forward to seeing you around the ship and to broadcasting to you again at noon tomorrow. In the meantime, thank you for your attention, and once again, a very good afternoon to you all.